What's going on? I'm Ralphie Aversa, and I attended Syracuse University from '03 to '07, and now I host my own radio show that's on a couple different radio stations and do some part-time TV stuff.
And you sound like a radio guy. I love it, Ralphie Aversa, getting to meet you in real life.
I don't try, Kim, I swear.
Awesome. So we connected over Twitter, and now you're sitting in my office, which I have to tell you is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
So tell me about kind of your path from Syracuse to what you're doing now. Did you know you were going to be the voice of Scranton Radio and many other cities as well, or kind of?
No, I did not think I was going to end up in Scranton out of school, but it's worked out well. I'm originally from Western New York, and I applied dual major to Newhouse and WSOM and got in early acceptance. Was super pumped about that. Had a great 4 years here at Syracuse, and while I was here, I worked at Z89, I worked at WAER, and then I also worked in the market for Clear Channel for Hot 107.9. I also did some part-time TV stuff and some web video stuff because YouTube was just starting to finally come up around that time. And so I got the gig in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania at 97 BHT, which is a top 40 radio station. If you're from New York watching this, it's kind of like C100, but only in Scranton. And so I got that job right out of school, and I'm also on a couple other radio stations for our company, which we were bought out last year by Cumulus, so I'm a part of the second biggest radio company in the country, and I'm on in Providence and in New London, Connecticut as well. It's a lot of fun.
So to students who are watching this and thinking, I want to do radio someday, I've got a great voice, you know, I've got what it takes, what do you think has made you successful in this business? Because radio is changing by the day between XM and this and that. I mean, what does it take?
Absolutely. Yeah, well, it started changing when I was in school because jobs started getting cut due to voice tracking, and people, you know, I mean, you take like Ryan Seacrest or Elvis Duran, for example, both of whom are on the air here in Syracuse, and I mean, in Elvis Duran's spot, there used to be Marty and Shannon. Those were two full-time positions, and now they're gone. So radio is certainly changing. It's a lot harder to break in because young people used to be able to break in on the overnight shifts or the weekend shifts. All of that stuff's being automated now. You have to network, and you have to work really hard, and at the end of the day you have to be talented as well, and you need a little bit of luck. It's very tough, but it's still possible.
What do you like most? I mean, today you're in town doing American Idol auditions here in Syracuse. That's kind of fun. Tomorrow morning leaving for the VMAs. I mean, you're living the dream here. What do you love about it?
I love interviewing relevant people, not necessarily huge big names, but just relevant people, and breaking relevant stories about the stuff that I cover, which obviously is mostly music, but a little bit of pop culture as well. So it's a lot of fun.
Do you have a favorite interview? Because I read your tweets sometimes, and I'm like, OMG, you're talking to Carly Rae Jepsen. Like, I really want to talk to Carly Rae Jepsen.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah. So, I mean, is there somebody you've talked to who's been, maybe not a huge name, but somebody who's really stuck with you?
Wow. I'm trying to think as far as... You know, one guy, Jason Derulo, a lot of people know his music.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes, especially because I'm still kind of on the younger end as far as the radio DJs, when I interview an artist that's like 21, 22, 23, I'm able to relate with them a little more, and I end up building a relationship with them. It doesn't happen all the time, and I don't try to do it, but like in Jason's instance, like him and I are friends. We keep in touch, and to see him, you know, to interview him before he had his first #1 single, and now he's got worldwide hits, it's pretty cool. It's cool to see that happen.
When you have interns come through the station, or when you interact with people who are younger, what are the qualities that stick out? Like, what would you be looking for in an ideal intern for you down at your station now?
A self-starter, somebody that doesn't need to be held by the hand, because especially if I take on an intern, which is tough for me because I'm essentially a one-man band. And so a lot of times if I'm going to take on an intern, it could end up being more work with the intern than it would have been without the intern. So I need somebody that I can just, you know, kind of show them once or twice, and then that's it, and then they could just be on their own and do their thing.
What were some of the things you did at SU that you think best prepared you? This is where you can give a shout out, hint, hint to WJPZ, because I know the hint, hint WJPZ guys are watching.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Tell me about those experiences at SU that really molded you.
Now, of course, without WJPZ, I don't have the demo that gets me on Hot 107.9, and without Hot 107.9, I don't have my current job. So it definitely all goes back to WJPZ. But what I would tell people that are trying to maybe mimic my career path as far as also doing some television and doing more entertainment reporting is go to WAER as well, because you're going to learn the fundamentals at WAER. I mean, I was a sports reporter for WAER for 3.5 years here at Syracuse, and I learned about writing, I learned about covering press conferences, I learned about, you know, doing like talking in and out of SOTs, like and all of that stuff, and it was a great environment to learn from there as well. So take advantage of the resources that the students have now. And I know I'm going to date myself a little bit when I say this, but I look back on it and I'm not that far separated from it, and I think, wow, I really wish I had that. And so you know, the students now and the incoming students that do have it, take advantage of it.
Last question, and I think you do a great job with it. How has Twitter changed your job, or made it easier, or made it harder, or tell me about how that plays a role in your day-to-day?
I mean, I guess it made it a little harder in the sense that the job is never done between Twitter and Facebook. It's like it's like almost like you're never off the clock. I tell people all the time, I don't have a job, I have a lifestyle, and so you're constantly on the go with it, and you're constantly plugged in. But it's great for networking. It's great for getting out quick stories, and even, I mean, nabbing interviews. I've done that over Twitter. I mean, the possibilities with all, and not just now with Instagram as well, and all of these other networks that keep popping up. YouTube has been great with me as well, so it's helped out a great deal.
Fabulous, Ralphie Aversa. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, KB.